call me the bar moth, but they used to call me Merch Church. I was out of control up in the streets, One, two. Check me out right here, y'all. Yo, my team get it down whenever, so I'm down forever. Boots big, springs down in leather. Our style way better. It's bros before cheddar. UPK is the fam, only one doing letters. Damn right, fucking with us, is your damn life. So if you will be cold when talking about damn ice, don't get your teeth knocked in your throat. For assuming we saw a few haters is losing. Know that it's moving. You know that I've been waiting for trauma lately. Calm but crazy, and people stop behind just waiting. All from gazing, painted in the $3 bill. Real is back. So you young thugs can chill. So the only thing left now is scars for you crackers. G's on heads like they guards for the Packers. We gon' win, rest of y'all frauds, non-factors. About to yell cut and pause you faggot ass. This is the mission. We back in the mix of the smithing. Made a decision. You gon' have to pay to dismiss it. Drop gems on them. You take L's, I wins on them. Swimming on the beat, we swear I have fins on them. Y'all boring, we heard y'all, we all snoring. Picture painted on so clear, we all drawing. Old Philly slang, my whole community. Legends on one track like I.S.U.P.K. Bars hit like cook crack through the vein. This the rebirth, these verses up on the page. Just be amazed, they tear down another stronghold. We in war mode, rocking fringes and a crossbow. This the fire burning inside, blacker than charcoal. Never turn to ashes, punches sharper than ashes. Floating like a butterfly, stain with poisonous lashes. Better get your glasses, if you don't see that, you smash this. This the victory lap shit, I'm running it backwards. Give me enough time, pre-ordering all your caskets. Taking measurements, making sure that you fit. Making sure we leave enough time for condolences. This the rebirth from the real, you ain't legit. And you ain't got no love for your dogs, you got a big fucking bitch.
Yo, I'm gonna stay alive forever. I hate rats and reptiles more than Master Shredder. If I ain't heard from women once, I know we got an agenda. Always kept the trail, cause I never been a pretender. And if I said it, then I meant it, dog, I meant to offend you. Your father is a child molester. These Bruce Jenner ass niggas never been a contender. In the streets, anybody's getting served like a vendor. You say my name on the track and it's people that better. I shattered dreams that put your tender little heart in a blender. You best surrender, there's no hope like these are public defenders. I get you. Every member wish you're getting dismembered. Cause biting my rhymes is just like biting the curve. And then I'm stopping you going for every letter, every word, every syllable of the rhythm, the nouns and the verbs. You better watch what you say, cause we're bodying her. The game was too good. Too bad it got ugly. We teach you how to live while they teach you how to dirty. Going hard like my son is down to his last huggy. Pop off and we're snapping right back like a bungee. Once you're on and popping, everybody is your buddy. They be thinking that they know you if they call you while you love it. Is it the rhymes or the shine? Though I question why you love it. They all wanna break bread, but what it keeps you when you're hungry? Wasn't there for the dark days, only when it's sunny. Now you come around and you wanna count my money, but I grind like my pockets only got dust bunnies. We the Lord's chosen from the land of milk and honey, nigga. We do it like that and we do it like this. We do it like that and we do it like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Swing low, low, give me at this plantation. I ain't on the block no more, no grams weighing. I don't even bed no hoes, my ribs stay in. Try to keep them humble and never run in the streets. My kids speaking Hebrew, so you know that I teach. It's hard, gotta hold on, trying to keep up the peace. I'm waiting on your son to return and cut off the beast. Till then, I'ma be in war mode and face peace. I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I take it. That's why I don't slow down so more, and I don't face it. Satan still want me back, he gotta face it. Smoke don't touch these lungs, I'm feeling strong again. Lost a couple LBs, even started to jog again. I get suited up now, and I ain't talking about cardigans. Boots laced up and gear ready for battle. The enemy is listening, Lord, but I ain't rattled. Made a nigga feel it, some niggas scared of their shadow. I'm seeing lost niggas in these groups on the tube. You could've put me with them, yeah, that's mercy from you. You put me front of Jimmy, YAHANNA, I can't lose. He took a drug dealer that probably should make the news and turned him to a prophet. My family is still confused. It seems they like the old me best. Sorry to say, I ain't gotta drop an old me left. So I pray that the slave master see death every day. I hear the bell toll and hope I'm the one chosen. And when that chariot swing low, Lord, let me roll it.
We're doing this for Yahweh and YAHANNA. Go to war for our people like Mordecai. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die. But please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Every day is a struggle just to stay alive. It's dark and hell is hot and I don't wanna feel the fire. I'm sorry for my sins and I deserve to die. But please swing low, sweet chariot, cause I wanna ride. Well, come on, come on, come on. Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? Won't you please swing low, sweet chariot? What you know about sacrifice? Nothing, they bluffing. These niggas perpetrators, man, of God, the shit is disgusting. I put my time in, while they ain't even applying. Through all the pain, hate, confusion, and the lying, I stay grinding, with the heart of a lion. The strong through the storm, till I find that silver lining. Without no pressure, there's no diamonds. I go straight into the furnace of affliction for refining. Came along with the stash of bills when I heard the sirens getting higher. Hold up, moment of silence. Just a moment, y'all. Yeah. Cause that man is dead in deceit. Gained knowledge, found peace, shook the market of peace. Only fear God and not another man who bleeds. And if you roll with me, you already know my speed. I come through, give a death and Hollywood up free. Then I quit the chop a Christian with ease. Then I go and put the sword back in the sheet. I got one life to live, so I'm playing for keeps. So I be dropping shit like the towers. All my haters sour. These bitch ain't no cowards. Niggas swear they hard, but acting like they on their flowers. You a bitch ass nigga, I'll fuck your ass up. Hold up. Let me regain my composure. I keep the time to the beat of a composer. The end is near and I can feel it getting closer. Praying to the Lord, let the angels be my shelter. We're doing this for Yahweh and YAHANNA. Go to war for our people like Mordecai.
Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other group. So today, Priest and Officer 500, Shamgar, One Bunyamin. Today we'll teach the brotherhood class. So like today with our brothers, coming out of the world, learning who we are as a people, learning our heritage and our nationality is detrimental. They also learn our laws in regards to brotherhood, in regards to how we should conduct ourselves in learning how we conduct ourselves and how our forefathers once upon a time, before time, lived and how we conducted ourselves. And right quick, we're going to start with Jeremiah 17:4. Because we see our brothers, out there marching, wearing all black, marching and, trying to look a little bit UPK. We see our brothers out there, doing their thing. But what you have to understand is that we've been marching for years, and yet and still, the brothers that are out there marching and doing their thing, many of those brothers, it's all a phase, it's all a facade. Many of those brothers will go back to their communities and sell drugs. Many of those brothers will go back to their communities and hate their brothers and bear a grudge against their brothers. But in us coming back to who we are, and in the teaching of this truth that we've been teaching since 1969, teaching blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians that we are God's chosen people and that we must come back to the laws of our forefathers, man. And in doing so, we it treats the true way how to really love our people and not just go outside and march, because we've been doing that since the 60s, since the 50s. Not just going outside and marching, but actually taking the time to deal with the issues within our communities and deal with different brothers one-on-one, instead of actually being hypocrites in going and saying, okay, we're going to support black businesses, or we're gonna march, we're gonna do this. But really and truly, those brothers are not doing what they profess to do. They don't really love their brothers, and this is why. And according to the Bible, the I.S.U.P.K is teaching that the so-called blacks, the Negroes, the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade that was taken to the Americas and dispersed among the four corners of the earth, and the natives of North, Central, South America, they are the true biblical Israelites. Since 1969, UPK has been teaching this, and today I'm going to show you as to why our brothers and sisters are the way they are, given that we are the Israelites. Yes, we make the claim with the Israelites, but also understand that why those people that we claim to be the Israelites are living the way they live, and are not living according to the laws that was given unto their forefathers. I'm going to start with this, Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. Bear with me. All right, so Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. And it says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage. So our people, the Israelites, according to the Bible, they discontinued from their heritage. They discontinued from the proper culture and ways and the way how they're supposed to govern themselves and treat one another. Right? We discontinued from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not. We was the only people on the face of the earth that was caused to serve their enemies in a land that they will know not is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Those are the people that were scattered to the four corners of the earth and forced upon to succumb to the ways of our oppressors. And in that, we've lost our heritage and taken up their ways and their hateful ways that we love to promote in our communities. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealing. Drug dealing is not our thing. When we look in the Caribbean specifically, we look at things like marijuana, we look at things like weed, those things it was not even native to the lands that we was brought to. But over time, our oppressors moved over there, the so-called East Indians, they moved over there and they brought marijuana and they started bringing their culture. That's one of many things that we have fallen into in our communities. We tend to do that a lot. We sell our drugs to our brothers, we're smoking weed all day, sitting there getting high. Yet and still, that's not those people that do that. Those people that we're speaking about are the God's chosen people, but they have fallen to the ways of their oppressors. But I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read on. And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger. Meaning what? We upset the Most High, man. We upset the Most High in all these things. Hey, Shalom, how was it? We upset the Most High in all these things, man. Because why? We serve other gods, man. We love to serve Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Sikhism, everything under the sun that is not our own. That's why we are called to serve our enemies in the language no or not. And that's why our brothers and sisters today are under this spell that, and they can speak and say that they love their brothers, but yet and still, after they do that marching that they were doing in Brixton the other day, after doing all that marching, they're gonna go back to their communities and how they're gonna treat their brothers. They're gonna say, oh yeah, for a time they're gonna support a business or so, but in their whole life, how they're gonna live is just gonna conform back into society. They're just gonna conform to smoking weed, doing all manners of drugs, causing our sisters to be whores, sisters hating on one another, bullying each other, brothers, gang banging and oppressing the brothers in your own community. It's the same old cycle. And those brothers that you see out there marching, if they're not in the I.S.U.P.K, they are not down for their people. You understand? They are not sincere in the walk that they're making. Now, some of them are. Let's not be blind-minded. Now, some of our brothers are just misguided. But even still, in their confusion, they are yet and still going to continue to oppress the people without even their own knowledge of it. They can't even, some of them can't even understand the fact that going out there marching for a time, like like we've done for all these years, over 400 years we've been doing, right? Going outside and marching for a time is not changing anything within our communities. You understand? It's not changing anything in our communities, but yet and still they will still continue to follow that pattern, and the same pattern they will follow in marching, the same pattern they will follow when smoking weed, the same pattern they will follow in abusing their own communities without even knowing it. Just go doing it without even subconsciously. It's just natural for them. You know what I'm saying? Look at a brother on the road and eye him up on the road. Man, walking, your brother looks just like you. He's doing his thing. You watching him, but yet when your oppressor walks by, oh no, he's all good. He's all good. You know what I mean? Nah, man. But that's the mindset. That's the brainwashing that we've been forced to succumb to in these lands. And I'm gonna read it again. And thou has even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage. That's why, man. Because we discontinue from our heritage as a people. We lost our way. But now coming back to our ways, we understand that we have a law. And the law was given unto our forefathers in the wilderness of Moses, right? And let me get this now. First Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9. Because, like I said before, our brothers, some of them sincerely, they sincerely think they're down for the people. They sincerely think they have the solution, but they can't. What they can't see is that what they're doing and how their approach towards, trying to support and love their people is misguided, and it's just an ongoing pattern. You know what I mean? It's a pattern that we love to continue and follow, and we're so blinded to see. But yet we still want to integrate. We still want to, mix with other nations. I think everyone can be our friend. But yet you're still marching. After that march, you're gonna go sleep with a white woman. After that march, you're gonna sleep with another nation, a woman, a woman of another nation. You understand? That's what you're gonna do, and then you will stand by and say, "Oh, I love my people. I love black people," but you really don't, because if you love your sisters, if you love your brothers, you wouldn't even think of going to another nation. And if you really love your sisters, you feel down for your sisters, you would not make them to be whores, man. You wouldn't do what they call one night stands and lie with your sister and then throw them away. You wouldn't lie with them and use them for their beauty, and then when they have a child now, you want to dispatch and run away. No, man, that's not the love. That's not the love of our brothers. That's not the love that we should be promoting within ourselves, and that's not how we are meant to be. Let me get this now. Relax, yo. First Timothy. Where is it? So that I can bear with me. Man. Right. So now, like I was saying, our brothers, come back to our heritage, come back to our way. We need to understand that we are a destroyed people, and the knowledge that we destroy for is our heritage and our culture and our way, and that includes the laws of our fathers. Now I'm going to get it now. First Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man. So the law is not made for a brother who knows what he's got to do. Knows he don't eat shrimp. Knows he don't eat pork, crab, or lobster. Who knows he shouldn't make his sisters to be whores. That's the law is not made for that man. The law is made for who? We're gonna read it. But for the lawless and disobedient. The lawless and disobedient is our brothers, man. Our brothers and our sisters, man. We want to tell them who they are. They like the empowerment. They like when we speak on the wickedness of our oppressor. They like when we have group kisses and they big us up for that. But when it comes to being lawful and actually coming back and doing something productive for your people, you're disobedient. You know what I mean? You would say like, oh, I want to be a white woman, I want to be this woman, I want to be that woman. But what about your sisters, man? What about the blacks the sisters that went through slavery just like you, man? What about the sisters who suffer the same things at their jobs, the same issues that you go through, man? They know the struggle that you go through, the pain that you go through every day. You know how hard it is to build a family being black over here in the UK and in America, more so in America, but over here in the UK too. You know what I mean? They know that there's a lot of trouble that we deal with, man. And then you want to go and leave your sister to push a pram on their own in your communities. Yet you look at it and still look at other nations, look at the Arabs, man. They look after their women because they're not going to have their woman out there pushing the pram on their own. But we do that. As black men, black and Hispanic men, we do that, man, because why? We have lost our way, man. We are lawless and rebellious. You know what I'm saying? We're lawless and disobedient for the ungodly, for the sinners. You know what I'm saying? The sinners, man. Those sinners that we see on in Brixton High Street next to the KFC. Those sinners that you see in Birmingham High Street next outside the Primark. You know what I'm saying? Where we go and preach, and you brothers and sisters see us all the time out there. You know what I mean? Those brothers and sisters that we're talking about, your brothers and sisters who are rebellious because you see what we're saying and you can understand, you can clearly understand that what we're saying is true and it's prudent because, you know what I mean, we actually go and help our people. We actually have food drives in the UK. You know what I mean? I've got the number, we've got food drives, we've got everything out here. We feed our brothers and sisters. We actually do things for our people. But we're not, and it's not just a one-time thing. It's not just like when one brother is out there and he gets killed, but he is one of thousands of brothers who get killed all the time unlawfully by law enforcement. And we don't just sit there and say, you know what, oh, this one time, because the media's pushed it so much, we're going to actually speak on it. No, we speak on it every single day in our lives, how we live, how we stand with our people, how we conduct ourselves in our communities. We don't go ahead and mix with the other nations. Yeah, we may go to work with them and have business, and you know what I mean. We have to live in this empire that we're brought to, but we do not conform to the ways of our oppressors, man. And that's what we do in this community, in this captivity. We look down upon ourselves in our own communities, but yet we look to our oppressors so much more than we should. We should be looking to our sisters, looking to our businesses. You're talking about having this thing on July, what was it? I think it was July or June. You had a day where black only, right? Black only. That's one day. So for the rest of the days of the year, over 300 other days of the year, this brother's got to starve because it's only one day. No, man. That's not how we do in the UPK. Yes, there are things that we cannot, because of the curses and because of the state and condition that we've been brought to. There's things that we have to go to our enemies for, which is borderline, which is actually everything. But there's things that our brothers may do, and we might support that. You know what I'm saying? Because in our every day to day, we can actually support our brother, and we'll do that. We'll do the best we can to do that. But you brothers, man, out here in the world, you're talking about, you love your brother, love your people, and you're down for black people, black this, black that. But yet, that's one day a year, and you don't do it for the look, for the job, because everyone else is doing it. But we do it when no one's doing it. The UPK has been doing supporting black Slovakia. The UPK has been supporting black businesses since 1969. You understand? We've been doing that since 1969 when no one else was doing it. We've been saying that we are the true Jews of the Bible before everyone else was doing it. We have been doing this thing long before everyone else was doing it. And now, when it seems good, when everyone else is doing it, when it seems like the vibe or what's in now you want to start talking about your people and this, your people and that. But yet, even as you're talking about it, you're very hypocritical. So like you're very hypocritical because you're gonna go back home to your white woman. You go back home to your Arabian woman. You're not gonna go back home to your sister and allow her to bear the sons the sons, the princes and priests of the Lord. No, you're gonna give that to a heathen. That's what you're gonna do. And that's the problem, man. But reading on, For the unholy meaning holy meaning to be separate. The unholy meaning those who refuse to separate, man. You refuse to separate from this society and conform to its ways. You're unholy. We're supposed to be holy, meaning to be separate. And so separate in the philosophies and the ways of this world, man. But you are unholy because why? You refuse to separate. You refuse to take hold, even though, looking into it, before we said looking into history, before we as a people integrated with our oppressors, we've always stood strong, man. We've always been better off. Always. Like what every other nation does as well. They come to work. Everyone goes and does their business together. Everyone does trade. You understand? Everyone go to their slave. But at the end of the day, they go back home to their communities and they support their brothers and sisters. But we don't do that, man. We love to say, oh, that's in the past, or we should love everybody. We should not be feeling that way. We should what they say YOLO. We should only live once and all that other stuff, man. And we should just love everybody and not do that. No, nah, man. It works for them. Why can't it works for us too? It's all, and historically it has worked for us. Before Martin Luther King, we was better off, man. You know what I'm saying? Before brothers like him who love to conform to the enemy and love to join hand in hand with the enemy, we was a better off. We was a stronger people. But reading on, for the unholy and the profane meaning the profane meaning it's a salaka. Profane meaning the root word of profane meaning profanity, something that is offensive. You're offensive to the Most High because of the way you live and the way you do things, man. For murderers, brothers and sisters that hating one another, man, killing each other without a second, 2 seconds of killing their brother. But yet you give your oppressor time. You give him time to rejuvenate and do his thing. You give him so much mercy. But your brothers, man, you have no mercy, man. Murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers. Because listen, man, you're murdering sisters out there too. You're not just out here murdering, you know what I mean, brothers. Your brothers. Listen, some brothers out here killing mothers with their babies, man. You know what I mean? Ruthless in how they kill their own people, man. Ruthless in how they treat and conduct themselves, man. Reading on. And manslayers, you know what I'm saying? Same thing, killers, man. For whoremongers, there you go, whoremongers right there. You know what I mean? You instead of lying with a sister, understand that sex is marriage, man. Instead of lying with a sister and taking her on and building a family with her and not allowing her, not suffering her to be a whore, nah, you're gonna be a whoremonger. So now you're not gonna do it with that one sister. You're gonna lie this sister, throw away. That sister, throw away. That sister, throw away. And then you got what, 5, 6, 7, 10 sisters who have been made whores by you. You're mongering whores because why? You've gone and lied to multiple sisters and thrown them away. Now they are whores. You know what I mean? And they now go ignorantly in their mind. They're gonna go, okay, he's this. I'm gonna go lie with another man. Little they know that's their man. That man they just lied with. That's their man. But because of you and your lack of honor and understanding, you just gonna throw them away and treat them like nothing. So now they're gonna ignorantly go and be whores and sleep with another man. And then they're gonna do it again and again and again because this is what you do. You don't stand with your sisters, man. You throw them away. So okay. For them that defile themselves with mankind. So there you go, man. It's that homosexuality that they always pushing, man. That homosexual BS, man. That defiling of the rainbow BS that they're pushing in our communities, man. There's no BLM, Black Lives Matter, but yet you see, it's just like the UPK has been saying. BLM is just another agenda. Understand? BLM just like when Martin Luther King was there. Martin Luther King actually, in fact, was the first one to do that when he was integrating different peoples, different groups. One of those groups and sects that he was, mixing with or kind of jumping on another group that jumped on the bandwagon of our oppression was the homosexuals, and they pushed that in our communities, making our sons weak and effeminate, making our daughters masculine and rough, you know what I mean, and crazy. They promote that, man. You understand? And that's what's in our communities. And these that we're reading about. This is what the law of our forefathers is for. These are the people who the laws are made for those brothers, man, and those sisters who are lost in the world, man, wearing tight clothes and switching up your wrists, like, just be a man, be masculine. Put some bass in your voice and stand up for your people and stop running around and putting on makeup, man. And for your sisters to be getting in line, and actually being women. You know what I'm saying? Taking up your rightful place as a woman and standing behind your man. You know what I'm saying? Following him and standing by a righteous man more so, because that righteous man is not going to leave you, throw you away, and abandon his children. He ain't going to do that. And you should be bearing the priests and prophets of the Lord, priests and prophets and princesses of the Lord, because why? That's what you're made for, man. That's who it's your sisters or daughters of Zion, man. You should understand and relish the greatness that you come from, man. And brothers, understand that you come from the princes and priests and great kings of YAHANNA, man, Israel. You understand? That's who you come from. But but then in this captivity, this Sodom, it's just like of ancient times, and Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Our brothers and sisters are going all over the place, man. Like I was saying before, with regards to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. It's nothing new. You know what I mean? It's the same old thing where they're gonna push their agenda, trying to piggyback and look like they're with you, but they're not. They're just gonna push that into your communities, so you're further destroyed and further stray from the ways of your forefathers, man. Reading on, so man stealers, you know what I'm saying, kidnapping your brothers, you know what I'm saying, for liars, for the preserved, the preserved. I got this earlier, right? We'll get the definition for preserved person, right? Perjury, like, you know what I'm saying? Perjury is, right, when, let me get the definition right now. Right? Perjury, right? The preserved, right? Let me get that right now. Let me get that. I just got it earlier, but let me get that. Yeah, that's right, brother. The boys, that's how you say your name? Yeah, a lot of our brothers, that's what they do, man. They hold grudges, man. And so quick to be violent against one another, man. So quick, because it's that self-hatred that's taught in our communities, man. And we're gonna touch on that as well. We're gonna touch on the fact that, how in our communities you got a lot of brothers who say, you know what I mean, they love one another, but they do not, man. They do not love their people. We're gonna touch on that real quick. So lucky. Bear with me, family. Lucky. Just have to get this definition right quick. Where is it now? Right. Where is it now? All right, so to perjure or perjured, it's written in Old English, so it's a bit. But perjured person, someone who's willfully tell untruth or to make a misrepresentation under oath. You know what I mean? That will go to your, your regular brothers and sisters, man. You willfully tell untruths, man. You know what I mean? Willfully lie and follow fake falses, and also misrepresentation on the oath, meaning like what? You got brothers who left the school, right? And they misrepresented their oath. They misrepresented the priesthood that they were supposed to keep, and they forsook their, you know what I mean? They forsook their oath that they made, right? That's one example of that. But also, just in general, the willfully tell untruths, right? The willfully telling untruths, that's just liars, man. You know what I mean? Again, it's the same thing. Liars, you know what I mean? Willfully telling untruths. So, okay, where we at? Right. And if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, really again, which is contrary to sound doctrine is the law, man. The sound doctrine is the law, and and understand that the law under Christ, understand that Christ is our King, and that is our salvation. And that is our salvation, man. That's the only way we're gonna get out of this. Because without Christ, without Yahushua Christ, we would not be able to have this right here. We would not be able to have, because murderers will be dead. Understand? Murderers wouldn't be here. Homosexuals, people that abuse themselves of mankind and be sodomites, they will be dead, man. But under Yahushua Christ, you understand, and the sound doctrine of the law, we are able to change, man. That's why since 1969, we have been given the place to change, man, the place to understand who we are and to change our ways, man. Right. So, right, according to the glorious gospel of our power, of our blessed power, blessed with committed by to trust, to my trust, right? So now we're gonna get now. Let's get so like I read earlier, you know what I mean, we've been discontinued from our heritage, man. We just discontinued from our heritage, we've lost our way, and you understand, and one thing coming back to understanding that the condition that we're in as a people, right? So now I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 28 and verse Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So understand that the law is made for the unrighteous. Understand the law is made for the brothers that don't know who they are. Made for the brothers and sisters who, you know, they're in the world, man, and they need this. They need this. They need the law. They need this guidance. They need this structure. And you're only gonna find that in the UPK, man. And you're gonna find that guidance and that structure, that proper structure that you need in the I.S.U.P.K. So right, I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54. Right. Right here it says, so the man that is tender among you, right? Meaning what? Man that is tender among us. What does that mean? Anyone online want to take a shot at it? You know what I mean? What does that mean, the man that is tender among you? What does that mean? Anybody? If you don't, let's just see. Well, I'm gonna just tell you because I don't think anyone's hitting it up right now. Oh, right. That's right. Adolphus. All right. Yeah, that's right. Emotional. Right. Tender among us meaning emotional. That's right, brother. Tender among you meaning emotional, man. Like in our communities, man. Many of our brothers, they're so quick. Like I said before, they're so quick to anger towards their own, man. And any little thing, it's like that. They want to kill their brother quick. But the oppressor that walks by in our communities, they ain't doing nothing to him. Not even looking at him a certain way, nothing. But yeah, like you said, that's right, brother. Emotional. You understand? The brother that is tender among you and very, very delicate. See, there you go again, very delicate. Because he's soft. Yeah, that's right, our one. That's right. He's soft, man. That's right. Many of our brothers understand that. Even when it's so-called shotters and mandem, you know what I mean, so-called, right? You know what I mean, you're out there, selling drugs to shotting to your own people, destroying your communities, you know what I mean, and being weak as possible. But then, right, not only that, but then you are emotional, man. You're soft, really. Like, you think you're tough because you're out there with numbers around you, got people around you, armed to the teeth. You think you're tough because of that. But yeah, here it says, you know what I'm saying, delicate, man. You're delicate, like a female, delicate. Any little thing, you're quick to get emotional, quick to jump up on man, quick. You know what I mean? You're delicate, man. You're not really tough, though. You're not really a man. But because in our society, we're made to be physically strong, but mentally weak and delicate and soft. That's what happened in our community, man. We've been made to be soft and weak. You understand? Being emotional. But read, his eye, to that weak and soft man, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, man. Shall be evil toward his brother. That's why you get black on black crime, man. That's why you get Hispanic on Hispanic crime. That's why you get Native on Native crime. That's why you get his so-called Hispanics and so-called Hispanic and black crime, you know what I'm saying, versus one another. That's why we get that in our communities, because why? The weak among us, man. We've been raised by our mothers in our communities, man. Raised by our mothers to be emotional and soft. And so now you think because you're around others just like you, who are fearful and weak and emotional and believe that, you know, being a man is about the carnality of a situation, you understand, and not understand that being a man is also about how your mental esteem is, how your mental esteem should be, and how you operate and deal with certain situations. And because you're around other brothers just like you, raised by their mothers who are emotional and got a loud mouth and they ain't got no damn sense, that's why you think now that you're a man, and that's why you think you're tough. But here you're weak and delicate, man. That's why you're so quick to attack your brother. You know, they have a saying. They say that the dog that is scared, the dog that is most fearful, that's the dog that's gonna bite you. I mean, a dog that's afraid or sees you as a threat. You know what I mean? Like how you get. Let me see. Let me think. If you have a wolf, right, a female wolf, and she's got her puppies, right. You understand that female wolf is gonna see you as a threat because she has fear and anger for her puppies because she has to protect them. And because she's scared of the immediate threat towards her puppy, she's gonna attack you more so than a regular female wolf who's just literally just walking along doing their thing. But a wolf that has that fear, right? That's the one that's gonna bite you because of the fear. That's like the brothers, man. Brothers in the road. They're shook. They're scared, and they've been raised that way to believe that the way they are and being fearful and being emotional is tough, but it's not, man. Let's read on. He shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom. Meaning what? He's gonna be the wolf. He's gonna be wicked towards the wife of his bosom, man. Because why? He don't know how to treat. He's not a man to know how to deal with a woman, man. He's not a man to know that you can have multiple wives. He's not a man to know that how you deal with your sisters. You understand? He's not a man to understand that. You understand? Shalom, how about Shem Shabbat? You know what I'm saying? He's not a man to understand that, you know what I mean, how I'm supposed to deal with my sister. I'm supposed to treat my sister. Understand that she's the weaker vessel. You know, so understand that she's gonna bear my sons and my daughters, and I must protect her and be a man over her. And she needs to submit under me. But it says here, you shall be evil towards the wife of his bosom. Why? Because he's gonna leave her, man. He's gonna throw her away, make her be a whore, man. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna throw her away and leave her with them kids. Let her push that buggy by herself, man. Get on that bus with her kids by herself. You know, open to attack any random oppressor. You know what I mean? She's open. If the Lord's not with her that day, man, the oppressor's gonna get her, man. Any of our wicked brothers in the street, just see her vulnerable there, the kids. You're wicked towards her, man. You just left her there. That's wicked, man. That's wicked. And towards the remnant of his children, man, which he shall leave. And that's the black and Hispanic community right there, man. That's the black and Hispanic community right there. You know what I mean? Wicked towards the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, man. That is the black and Hispanic community. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 54, right? This is what befell before the children of Israel in the latter days. Because why? We strayed from our laws and our ways, and there is no brotherhood in our communities, no sisterhood in our communities. You know, so there's a video the other day. I don't know where it was. I think I was definitely over there in America, but there's a video the other day of three sisters attacking another sister, right? And that sister had a baby with her, and they didn't have no remorse. And so it's like there was a brother there too. There was a brother that attacked as well, and they didn't have no remorse, man, no mercy. They attacked the girl while she was vulnerable. She was outnumbered, and then you attack the child as well. We have been in this captivity. We have been brought up to be such cowards, man. To be so weak and so hateful towards one another, man. And that's what we're reading right here, man. We have been brought so low that we would have no mercy on our brothers and sisters, man. You understand? And that's the thing. We need to come back to our laws, man. We need to come back to the ways of our forefathers and learn that how we see in our communities, how we see our brothers leaving our sisters and leaving their sons and daughters, and how we see our brothers killing one another. That's not the way we should be, man. Just like I read earlier in First Timothy. I read earlier in 1 Timothy 1:9. The law of our forefathers was given to the unrighteous man. to the ungodly and disobedient, man. And we are disobedient people. We're disobedient, man. Over there in the islands, we're disobedient, man. Listen, man. We got something over there that's special, man. We got that fire, man. The wolves, man. I'm telling you, like, damn, man. It's lucky, but we as a people need to come back to our ways, man. And in coming back, let's get Leviticus 19 and 17. Like we read earlier, so the law was given to the unrighteous, and we have become unrighteous because, like read in Jeremiah 17 and 4, we've become unrighteous because, wow, we discontinued from our heritage. And now understanding who we are as Israelites in the land that we were scattered, now we have to understand that the laws that was given to our forefathers was for the wicked of our people, for our nation as it is now, in this estate, in this low estate that it's in now. These laws that was given unto our forefathers, you know what I'm saying, all those years ago, these are the guidelines. These are the way how we should conduct ourselves and be amongst each other, man. The law. And we're going to get one law real quick. An example of one of those laws that in our communities, if we were to even consider it as a whole, like we've been teaching in the UPK, you understand, we would have this is a solution. We actually have solutions in the UPK. We actually have structure and order where things actually work and actually come to pass and actually change our people. You understand? Actually help our people, but not going out there and marching, looking tough with no weapon, no gun. You're gonna go out in Brixton, I mean, over Slovakia to the Slovakia to the other one, and Akim and Akwafium in the States. But just over here, recently we had a little march going on, right? And they weren't all black. They were like the militia over there in America, right? They're like wearing all black, but obviously over here, we can't carry guns. So our militia, right? All black, no guns. You know what I mean? At least over there they had guns. They're shooting themselves, but at least they had guns to look a bit better. No, this is a militia with no guns. And it's just another march, man. It's just another march, and it was over the reparations. Yes, it was over reparations in our and the brothers and sisters over here were marching, and it's just another march, man. And those things, and what I touched on earlier is that, many of our people, we understand that marching does nothing for us. Even them purple sodomites, man, them other fake groups, they march. They march. They say they're in the truth, but they go and march, man. And this is what I'm gonna say. These fake groups and everything else outside the UPK is not the truth, man. They do the exact same thing. You know what I mean? They put it a different way, but they're doing the exact same thing. And you marching and looking tough on the road is not changing our communities, man. You understand? Being tough is changing the brothers, feeding the poor of our people, man. Like we have in UPK. We have food drives over here, man. I'm gonna put the number up soon enough. I'll put the number up. We have food drives over here, and we help our communities, man. We do what we can over here. We're small over here, but we do what we can over here still. Because we are under command of General YAHANNA, man. That's a man that we must follow as people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. But now I'm gonna get this law now, because you know what I mean. Like I read earlier, laws made for the unrighteous and disobedient, which is who we are, man. We are unrighteous and disobedient. So now Leviticus 19, verse 17, and thou, verse 19, and thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. So I'm sure everyone's heard that before. You know what I mean? We shouldn't hate our brothers. We should love everybody, right? We should love our brothers, right? But do we apply it in our communities? No. Do we know it as we should? No, we don't. In our communities, we've been taught some kind of fake love that is not the love of the scriptures. You know what I mean? The love, first of all, in our communities, we give our love to our oppressors. That's the first damn thing. We give our love to our enemies, man, who have done nothing but destroy and oppress us. But yet, and still, the simplicity of our religious leaders have led us so far astray that we believe that loving the love that the Bible speaks of. They believe that it's loving of that rainbow BS or or that loving your actual blood-born enemies is actually killing off your people, slaughtering your brothers and making your sisters to be whores and making your brothers drug dealers and thieves and making your people weak and low and homosexual. That's the love you want to give to them. Even in the midst of everything that's happening, you still have people today marching and then saying, "Oh, they're not all bad." You know what I mean? You still march as just like back in the day in the 60s. You still marching just like in the 50s and the 60s. You're still marching just like that. Yeah, they're not all bad, but nothing's changed, and that's what we don't understand. That's what we can't comprehend. But this love that we're reading about in our laws and our records, you know what I'm saying? Leviticus 19:17, thou shalt not hate thy brother, man, in thy heart. You know what I mean? It was not hating your brother in your heart is, man, holding a grudge, man. Hating your brother in your heart is looking at someone that just looks just like you and having no mercy, man. Hate, man. Hatred for your own brother, yet and still he's oppressed just like you. He's in the ghettos just like you. Thou shalt not, so like it, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. So rebuke meaning to correct. Understand? To correct our neighbors. Our neighbor, we're gonna read out, we're gonna find out who our brother and who our neighbor is right now. And not suffer sin upon him. So our neighbor and our brother, right? Our brothers and sisters, we shall not suffer sin upon them, man. You know, suffer sin upon them is, you know what I mean, allowing our sisters to be whores and throwing them away. You know what suffering sin upon them is? Selling drugs to your brothers and sisters in your community. So suffering sin upon that's what suffering sin upon them is. Selling drugs to them and making them get high and making them be drug abusers because weed is not a, you know what I'm saying, especially in the form that you're taking it as well, it is not something to play with. You know, people love to make that stupid argument that it's medicine, right? Which, in its purity, it has medicinal purposes, which is painkiller. It's a painkiller. That's what weed is. It's a painkiller. Us from the Caribbean islands, us from the tribe of Benjamin, Bunyamian, we know about our herbs, man. You know what I mean? There's an officer in the UK, he knows about herbs, man. He will teach you, and there's herbs for everything, man. It's hard to keep up with because we've been so westernized and so, especially in youth, we've been so confused and so mixed up in other things. But there are herbs, natural herbs that can help you, natural medicines, right? But if you go to the shop right now and get painkillers, right, in tablet form, and you just start taking them because of recreational purposes, right? What the hell are you doing, man? You're like a child, a foolish, simplistic child, man. Those are for painkillers. Those are painkillers. They're not for just for having fun. Like, why were you like 2 years old? But we've been brought so low in our community. We've been brought so low is to believe and to think that we can go and say something medicinal, but yet we have it for recreational purposes. That's your argument. You know what I mean? Even if it's not even unless if you're saying, okay, if I take the natural root of the herb and I boil it and I drink it and I use it for its actual medicinal purpose, that's one thing. But when you're talking about smoking weed and it's laced with this and it's laced with that, and you just want to get high and you want to have cough syrup, and listen, man, that is suffering sin upon your brothers, man, and your neighbors, man, your brothers and sisters in our communities, man. Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, those blacks of the Caribbeans and the Americas, those are the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. Those so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, those natives to North, Central, and South America, those are God's chosen people, man. And this law is, I'm gonna read it again, and this law is to you in our communities in South London, Central London, you understand, North, East, West, right? And we've got Birmingham, Manchester, all over the UK. Listen, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans to understand that this is the time of awakening, man. If you don't understand that, you just still sleep. And we have to understand, look, you know what I'm saying? This is our laws of our forefathers. Leviticus 19:17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, meaning to correct him. And rebuke thy neighbor, meaning to correct them. Correct them if they're going wrong. If they've become drug addicts and drug abusers, and they're causing their sisters to be whores, and they've become effeminate and weak, and they love their oppressors. Rebuke them and correct them, as we do when we go out in them streets and we teach down there in Brixton on the high street, that's the KFC, or up there in Birmingham, outside the Primark, when we go out and teach, that's what we do. We rebuke our neighbours, man, rebuke our sisters and our brothers, man, to come back to their laws, man, and not suffer sin. Okay. Right, and not suffer sin upon them, meaning what? Like I just brought out about the whole drug situation in our communities, man. Stop suffering sin upon your brothers, man. Stop suffering, stop making your sisters to be whores, man. Stop throwing them away. Be men. And if you truly believe and you truly love your people and your sisters, you would not make them whores, man. You can have, listen. By our laws and our way, you can have as many women as you want. But understand this. You better look after each one of them, man. You better make sure that you're not withholding from them. You're not failing to fulfill your duties. And so you're not failing to fulfill your duties as a man towards that woman and the seed that she bear, your seed that she bear, man. You should take pride in that and be a man and stop going around marching, begging your oppressor for love when he does not love you, man. He will never love you, right? Verse 18, thou shalt not avenge. You understand? Avenge. Our brothers and sisters, man, that's what they do, man. That's what we do. Quick to kill each other, man. Avenge over something, nothing, man. But understand this. We shall not avenge against our people, man. We shall not have no vengeance against them, man. We deal with opera now. Now understand this. If a brother's attacking you, you gotta be, listen, we're not punks out here. We will defend ourselves. Understand? We're not going to be punks and just let them hit us. No, we're not. It's not a Christian church where you're taught to be a complete fool. No, you will learn that. Listen, as a man, as you be among your people, how you conduct yourself and how you go about things. But at the same time, you will defend yourself, man. Defend yourself. Listen, if anyone's attacking you, you better fall on them, man. Especially more so if you're in the UPK, you better fall on them, man. Defend your damn self to the death, man. Die with honor, man. You know what I mean? Die with honor. Don't die a coward, man. Die with some honor, man. Die fighting. You understand? But do not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. We shall not bear any grudge against our people, man. And imagine that. Imagine if in our communities, man, that's how we conducted ourselves, man. Just imagine that. Imagine if in our communities we conducted ourselves like that, man. We stood for integrity and honor and the love of our brothers. You know what I'm saying? We stood for that. Rather than looking at our own vain feelings and how we think and feel. You understand? We imagine if we actually looked at our people and was like, you know what? He's my brother, man. And he did me wrong. I'm gonna go to him and I'm gonna talk to him about it, man. And we're gonna settle this thing like men. You understand? If he offended me, he did me wrong. I'm gonna sort it out, man. We're not gonna talk, we're gonna handle it, man. And you know what I mean, if he has to pay a certain price for his crime, you understand? But I'm not gonna avenge against him, man. Because he's my brother, man. That's why. I'm not gonna avenge him. He's my brother. He's just like me. He suffers in the ghettos of Croydon just like me, man. He suffers in the ghettos of Thornton Heath, Lewisham, Peckham, Brixton, just like me, man. He grew up in the same, listen, he comes from the same people as me, man. He comes from the same destruction and the same damage just like me. And I'm a love my brother, man. In the UPK, so okay, 1 second. You understand? In the UPK, we will stand for our brothers, man. You understand? And I will not avenge, man. We will not avenge it because we love our people, man. In the UPK, we're taught. You know what I mean? We're taught. We follow a man called Commandant General YAHANNA, man. Right? And he taught us. Under him, we follow a man called Commandant General YAHANNA, right? That's the man on earth today. That's the leader of Israel, man. That's the man set up. You know what I mean, in the priesthood of the I.S.U.P.K. to stand and to lead his people, man. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, War Command General YAHANNA, man. That's who we follow in the UPK, man. In that order too, you understand? That's who we follow, man, in the UPK. And this man taught us that we shall not avenge our brothers, man. We shall not avenge against our brothers, man. We shall be righteous in our judgment and how we deal. Because understand this, in our communities, we know it all too well, man. You know what I mean? We know oppression and we know hatred towards our own all too well, man. We know it all too well. And you know, if we follow these guidelines that was given onto our forefathers, man, we will be as we were aforetime, man. If we follow these laws, this is just one law right here, man. This is one law. Shalom, how about
Shalom, how about Shem Shakta? How's it going, Soji? Good.
all too up by the one, all too up. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like I was saying to the people, you know what I mean. I just bring up the law, Leviticus 19:17, the one. You know what I mean. About us just saying, touching on the fact that, you know, if in our communities, if we follow this one law, so much would be changed, man. So much would be resolved. It would be so much better off. So like, I'm gonna read that first.
So, okay, what scripture you reading?
Leviticus 19, verse 18.
1 second. Leviticus 19 and 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor but bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
See what I'm saying? We shall not bear any grudge, not avenge, you know what I'm saying, against our people, because why? Our laws are governed, and there's a law on how we're supposed to deal with things, man. The brother did you wrong, you're supposed to go to him according to the scriptures, man.
That's
Just
right.
brother wrongs you, man, you're supposed to go to him and talk as men, you know what I mean? Be like, you know what, my brother, you are the same bloodline as me, man. If we had that mindset, we'd be so much better off, man. You're the same bloodline as me. And I don't want to break the law. I don't want to be hating my brother, man, because we actually have a real enemy. There's a real enemy out there in the streets of London, man, that's oppressing our brothers. There's a real enemy in the streets of Birmingham, man, that's oppressing our brothers. There's a real enemy in the streets of Manchester, man, that actually is oppressing our brothers, man. You understand? If we understood that, and we wasn't so Christian in our approach to things, we would be so much better and stronger. But Slacky, other one, if you could read on, please. Slacky, other one.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Make my page little.
Little, yeah.
Yeah.
I did it.
No, next one. You big me small. All right, cool. So read that again, yeah.
Come on.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So the children of thy people, that's our neighbor, man. Not like in the Christian church where we're taught that our neighbor is the heathen nations that actually are in our communities, and they just suck the life and all the wealth out of our communities, man. Not them. But our neighbor is our brothers, man, our people. The people that suffer in the ghettos of Croydon just like you, man. The people that suffer, you know what I mean? The bloodline of people that built the land, built up the wealth of the UK up, man. And till to this day, they get less respect than the people who didn't do nothing for this
That's
place,
right.
Man. We serve this empire, you know, we serve this empire with such loyalty and such simplicity that we gave everything, our whole force, our whole life force, our sons and our daughters to this place, man. We built the wealth of this land and made it so great. All our greatness we touched upon on this earth, man, especially in the UK. And even today, they're deporting our elderly who came here in the 60s. So like in 50s, sir, other one? 50s, right?
50s and 60s.
God, 50s, right? And we built up this land, and yet still we're disrespected. You know what I mean? We're still owned by them. You go back to the Caribbean, that's not your home, man. Black man, your home is not the Caribbean. Your home is not America. Your home is Israel, man. Yasha in the Hebrew. You understand? And if we came and understood the laws of our forefathers, understood that the loving of our neighbor is loving of our people and no one else. If we understood that, just how other nations carry themselves, we would be a stronger people, man. We'll be much better off. So if we could get to now, 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20.
So the 1 John 4.
Khan. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20.
No sweat.
Yeah, man. If we understood that in our community, we'll be so much better off, man. understanding that, you know, going out and marching and doing that is not changing nothing, man. It's just a facade. It makes you feel good. It looks good. But at the end of the day, you're going back home to Becky, man. You're going back home to friggin' what's her name? Yasmin or whatever. I don't know what her name is. Chimchang. That's what I'm saying. You're going back to heathen women that are not your own, man. And then you want to stand there and say to me that you love your people. Nah, man. You see, a black man who stands, you know what I mean? A black man who stands and his integrity and says, you know what, I'm gonna seek a woman of my nation because she suffers just like me. I'm gonna support my brother's business because why? Not just on one day because it looks good, but every day I can because he's just like me, man. So like you said, you got that.
Carl, 1 John 4:20. If a man say, I love God, and hates of his brother, he is a liar.
Right. So if a man say he loves God, man, talk about God this, God that, loving that white Jesus in the church, bound to that stone, man, in Mecca, man, and talking about Allah this, Allah that, blah blah blah, right? You saying you love God in the church? They say they love God, but what they do? But we got churches all over our communities, man. If I go Croydon High Street right now, and I go into the Fort Heath right now, you see about 20 different churches on one road, man. 20 different churches all
That's
over the
right.
place, man. You go Birmingham, you see churches everywhere, man. We don't lack in churches and mosques. But
That's
you know
right.
what we do lack in brotherhood, man, because why?
Right.
We lack in brotherhood because these oppressive religions have only taught us to say we love God, but we actually hate our people. You you
That's
take
right.
you take the tithes of the poor of your people, and sometimes even 20%, and you rob the communities. You don't help the people. You don't teach them the law that is given unto their forefathers. You don't teach them the right way. There's pastors right now who are in the church who know that their people are Israelites. There's pastors right now in the community that know that their people are greater than what they're making them out to be, and that they have laws to keep and a culture to go back to. Yet because of your greed, you know what I mean, you would try to have the people integrate the people into a burning house, man. And that's just like Martin Luther King saying, "Oh man, we love black people," saying we serve black people, but yet you really serve your own pockets, man. But read that again, Slack, the other one.
If a man say, I love God, and hates of his brother, he is a liar.
Read on, Slack.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he have seen, how can he love the Most High, whom he have not seen?
How can that now? That's so heavy because how can you love the Most High? You never seen the Most High in your life. You never seen him. You never seen him before ever. And you see your brothers and sisters every day in the ghettos, man. You see your brothers and sisters every day suffering the suffering that we suffer, man. But yet still, you want to wear a bow tie in a nice little gay suit and
That's right.
talk about. Oh, I love my brothers. I love everybody. So you know, it's like I said, they don't say it. They say they love everybody, but
That's right.
really, all you love is the oppressor, man.
That's right.
All you really love is the oppressor and the wealth he gives you for being weak and for being effeminate. That's what you love, man. You don't love your peoples in the ghettos because why? They come up in your little church now, and you look at them a certain way, and you treating them a certain way, and you robbing them, taking their money, and all the rest of it. But yet and still, you do not love your people, man, and you damn sure don't love the Most High because you rob your people. Read on,
That's
Slack.
right. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth the Most High love his brother also.
That's right. See what I'm saying? He who loves the Most High loves his brother also, man. You know who I know love the Most High. You know who loves the Most High? Commander YAHANNA, man.
That's
Because he
right.
loves his brothers, man. That's how I know he loves the Most High. He's
That's
not
right.
gonna he's not gonna be in some fake group wearing purple and talking about you love your people, right? But yet you go and arresting your brothers that are innocent, man.
That's
He ain't gonna
right.
do that. You know why? Because he loves his brothers. That's how I know he loves the Most High. He's
That's
not gonna
right.
he's not gonna form a fake Christian group, right? Called and his name is Slack. I don't remember the brother's name, but he formed a fake group saying you're Christ, right? And charging your brothers and sisters more than 10%,
That's right.
more than
20%.
10%, and you say you love your people. Nah, man. I know a man who does love his brothers, and that's his name is Commander Junior Hunter. He loves his
Right.
people. He will not rob the people and try to charge them more than their earn, man. The scriptures say 10%. My Aisha in the Hebrew, man. Nothing more than that, man. And you wanna and you got another group talking about, you know what I'm saying? They give alms, right? But yet I thought that was free will giving, right? So you didn't have to pay because they try to say you got this fake group talking about you don't got to pay tithe, which is of course foolishness. They say tithe is food, right? Even though they don't give food, they don't. It's confusion. But
That's right.
you know what I mean? They don't give food anyway. Even though you know what I'm saying. If it's food, do you give food? You don't give food, right? Okay. But then you charging your people hella money, right, for all these different things, and it all adds up. It ends up being more than what the Most High has required of you, right? And then, yet and still, in that place where you just suck up the money on the wealth from your brothers and sisters, one of our sisters gets killed, man.
That's
And
right.
that's how I know you don't love your people, man. You understand? But a commander and the other one underneath him that take his command, they do love their brothers, man. Understand? And we do love the Most High. So like so is that it on that?
You can't. That's it.
Cool. Most High correct. Forget Romans 15:1, Brother Shah. Yeah, man. So understand this is that our people need to understand that we've been lost in our way, man. And coming back to our heritage that we've lost is restoring that brotherhood, man. Is restoring that brotherhood that we lost aforetime, man. We lost that when we served our oppressors under Christianity, man. We lost that when we serve our enemies today in all these falsehoods and religions, man. Talking about you love God. You're wearing a man dress and you're leading people to go bow to a damn stone. Nah, man. But yet and still, you want to put on a bow tie now. There's not a man dress no more. You put on a bow tie now, right? You put on a bow tie and acknowledge that we're the children of Israel. But then, still, you still want to lead them into falsehoods. You know they're the children of Israel, but yet you still want to lead them into a heathenistic religion. You don't love your people, man. You don't love the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You don't love your brothers, and that's why I know you don't love the Most High.
That's right.
Because you teach people to serve in that falsehood, man. And we are commanded to teach our people better and to not suffer them to be sinful, man. We are taught to teach them better, to not be weak. Slap the one if you can read that.
Romans 15:1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves.
So Salaki, can you read that one more time, Baba Kashar?
We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak.
So we that are strong ought to bear the infirmities, meaning what? Infirmity in this definition, meaning the physical or mental weakness. So we that are strong in this truth. Salaki, one second. Yeah, so we that are strong in this truth. You understand? So close the door, yeah, so we that are strong in this truth, we are meant to bear the infirmities, the weaknesses of our brother. Let me give you an example of that. One infirmity of a brother may have is, you understand, brother could have an anger issue, right? Or a brother could have come out the world and he was a let me see. Brother could have an anger issue, right? And you understand, he could come out the world and not understand that it's a weakness of his. But us that are strong in the truth, let's just come to that brother and be like, you know what, brother, I understand. I'm gonna be understanding about your situation because you come out the world, you come in to show yourself for the world and to learn that, and we're gonna bear that for now. We're gonna get you through this. Or a brother could come out the world and he'll be soft. Like one brother could come out the world, he'll be like anger. He'll only know emotion. Only know if anyone says something to him, he just taunts them in their face. Right? So some brothers know that. Right? If you say something to him, you just thump you in the mouth. But another brother, it's like another brother will come out the world and he'll be soft. He'll be Christianized, and that's what we've been led to be. Some brothers come out the world and they're soft, man, and that's a weakness that he has. Some brothers take offense to everything. That's an infirmity of him. That's a weakness that he may have. But we that are strong must bear that, man. Read on, Slaki.
And not to please ourselves.
And not to please. Here's the thing. You see, because many brothers, you know what I'm saying, some brothers, man, and brothers outside the UPK, you understand, you have a brother suffering these things, and you'll bear it. And then you'll bear it to do what? What do they do in the world? They'll say, I helped you this, that. I helped you get through this. You know what I mean? For your own look, to make yourself look good. Or haven't I done this? Haven't I done that? Haven't I helped you here, helped you there? Nah. We don't do it. We don't do it for that vainglory. We do it to help them to make them rise up. So I can read on.
Come, let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification.
For his good to edification, because why? If our neighbor learns that his emotional state that he came out of the world, his weakness, his infirmity that he came out of the world with is not the way we should be, and it's something that he must come from and learn, then over time he will read that last bit again. He will what? For his good for what?
Slakia. For his good to edification.
For his good to edification, because now he's got the education in his head. He knows now that how I was in the world, that family that I dealt with coming out of the world, he now knows that, yo, you know what? Listen, man, I got the knowledge now for myself. So I know that's my good education, man. I know now that I'm supposed to be this way. And he knows, and that's just for that brother. So that brother now can eventually go and teach another brother.
That's right.
So like, if you read on.
Come, verse 3. For even Yahushua pleased not himself.
Right, even Yahushua, our King. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ in the English. You know what I'm saying? For most of you know him by. You understand? Even Yahushua Christ, even he, our great and powerful, he's our King. And yet even in his higher state, even he would have done it for the brothers, man. For the brothers that are lesser than him, man. Even he went for them, man. So I can read on.
That's right. But as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproach fell, Sakya. But as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproached thee fell on me.
Right. So their reproach meaning what? So like if you get the definition for reproach, I had it earlier. If you get that for me, Brother Shah. Reproach, yeah? Oh, you got it, yeah? Yeah, most of it. Yeah, he's gonna get that, brother gonna get that. But yeah, reproach meaning, if I remember correctly, reproach meaning to have something that is in what worth dishonorable, something that is worthy of rebuke, or something that is disappointing. But we're gonna get it now. But it's something that is worthy of rebuke. We're gonna get it. Reproach, yeah?
Reproach, definition.
Read a little bit louder, because Matt. Yeah.
One's approval or disappointment in their actions.
Right. So disapproval or disappointment, right?
Yeah. There's a noun.
Right. So you got it.
There's a noun there.
Go on.
Rebuke, reproof, reproval, admonishment.
Right. So that's right. So there you go. So the rebuke and the reproval, because someone that it's disappointment, right? It's a disappointment, right?
Right.
So the action that they're taking. So now, if that brother now, remember, it's not for myself, but for that brother now, his weakness in that area, right? His infirmity, right? That's something that he's dealing with now, but that will come onto me because we're supposed to be one. We're supposed to be one together.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, if he's having that infirmity and I just leave him alone, first of all, that's wicked as hell. But
that's right.
Secondly, right? You know that his reproach is my reproach, man. If he's suffering that thing, then what am I? Because we roll together. So if that brother's suffering that thing, and I see him, he needs help with that. Right. He's weak in this area. I don't address it, man. That's not brotherhood, man.
Right.
That's right.
And that reproach will come onto your head as well, man. That's what Yahushua knew, man.
That's right.
Is that it on the other one?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No sweat. If you get Galatians chapter 6. Oh yeah, so the other one. Hakiyan can read if you to watch.
All right, no. I'm a tune in and just listen. All right.
Call.
No sweat.
So get me Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1. You want to sit here or
no?
You know what I'm saying? Galatians 6 and 1. Because like we just read, man, our brothers, man, we have to help our brothers for their sake, man, not for our own. That's what we do in UPK. We go out there and we preach in the streets of Brixton, in the streets of Birmingham High Street, not for our sakes, man, but for our brothers, man, because we care about them, man. You understand? Because our brothers. You understand? Our brothers is us, man. Their approach is our approach, man. Because we're supposed to love. That's a mindset supposed to have, man. But in the world, we've been taught to be selfish. Right. In the world, we've been taught to think, "Oh, I'm good. Like Martin Luther King. He was good, sleeping with a white woman in a hotel and getting money. Just like all the Christian pastors. They get all the money. They're good, but they're people. They come out of the church now. Look at the community now. It's a damn wreck, man. You saw how it was over there, right? Yeah. In Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? It was a mess. But and we see the church. We was walking through Birmingham. Me and the trooper was walking through Birmingham, right? And we were looking through the community, and we were seeing certain things. We never been to the south. We never just come down there to the school and we do camp, right? We're from London, right? But we walked through the community and we saw a lot of stuff. We saw the housing, man. The houses of the communities were like run down, man. And then we look, Lord behold, though, we looked over and we looked at that mosque, and it was prestige. Right. But yeah, our brothers that are living in them little houses, though, that wear that man dress, were living like what, dogs. Right. Yeah, they go to that big old mosque over there. He ain't helping you. He ain't trying to disperse that wealth. Just like in the churches, man. Most of the churches as well, because we saw churches too. Walk through the community of our brothers, and we're not from Birmingham, so we don't know it like that. We know London though. It's the same thing. The same thing we see in London, right? The same thing we see in Birmingham, man. Right. And that's the same thing when we see our brothers in our communities living near to like dogs, man. Right. And then you got this church all prestige, and you got this little homosexual in this damn suit, right? Nah, man. And that's they serve themselves. They don't serve their brothers, man. But you got that
Galatians, can't
read it.
Galatians 6:1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault.
So if a man be overtaken, our brother overtaken in a fault, meaning an error, meaning a sin. Read.
Ye which are spiritual.
So ye which are spiritual, meaning what? So for time's sake, you know what I'm saying? Spiritual meaning those who claim to serve the Lord, man. Who have the spirit of the Lord, man. Who serve the Lord and keep the law, man. And ye which are spiritual shall do what?
Restore such a one.
We shall do what?
Restore such a one.
Nah, man. We should just leave our brother, man. We're good.
Restore such a one.
That's brotherhood, man. We shall restore such a one, because why? He's our brother. And we see it's like you read in Romans. Right. He's in a fault, but yet we're gonna go and restore him. And he's down, right. He's low and down, and he was in the world. He used to just rip out the borer and mess up man's. Right. He in the world. He used to get the shotties, and that was it. He was and that's something he's dealing with in himself. Is like in the world, it's a end man's bro. I used to be in the world, yeah. What's the lingo they say? Go on. What they say? They say bunny, bro. You know what I mean? Like slack here. In the world, yeah, our brothers will be like, listen, man, I want to bun this shoot, bro. I'm bunning, bro. Listen, so quick. And this is a brother who, in the world, he didn't know no better, man. You know what I mean? In the world, this is what he come from on the streets, man. Being young,
doppy man.
Right. He used to say doppy. Right. That's another term we use over in the UK. Say doppy man. Right. It's a Benjamin thing, really. You know what I mean? But that's a term we would use. We say, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna duck with this man. That's how I used to deal with it. That's how I used to do. But then, I mean, we see that brothers dealing with that, and we know that the oppression and the pressure of this place that he's been come up in, and the weakness that is forced upon his head, and the programming in his mind to be so hateful to his brothers. We're gonna do what? Ye that are spiritual shall do what?
Restore such a one.
Read. You know.
In the spirit of meekness.
In the spirit of meekness, meaning what? I'm not gonna come all high, man. I'm gonna be like, in the spirit of understanding, man. Right. The spirit of humility. I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, listen, man, nigga, you this, that. No. Listen, you're my brother, man. Listen, understand this, yeah. I mean, we have to come together, man. And here's the thing. I'm not gonna be all hype on you. I'm gonna be listen, bro. You gotta do this. You gotta handle this. I'm gonna restore you. I'm gonna help you build you. Help you have to give you the keys and the clues of how to deal with such certain situations and how to build up yourself and be that priest and prophet of the Lord that you were born to be, man. Understand? And that can only happen in the UPK, man. Right. That can't happen when you're in the purple southern, man. That's right. That can't happen when you're wearing all white, loving up, having. Well, it's like anyway. Let me say something. You know what I mean? Them all these other groups, right? No, it's something, yeah. Just like the Christian church and the Muslim mosque, right? Both these organizations, the Christian church, the Muslim mosque, and the fake Israelites, right? All of them not enough to do? Serve and give their love to their oppressors, man. That's right. One way, form, or fashion. To the oppressors. Not the children of the slave trade, no. But to the Africans. That's right. But to the friggin' the Asians, man, the Arabs, man. Right. Or to the white man in the like GOCC, that's what they're doing over there. Nah, man. And that's what we don't do. We come back and we love our brothers and we
That's
support them,
right.
man. Those brothers, man, who spend their life in and out of jail, man, suffering, man, in the ghettos, man.
Right.
Only known to be emotional and only known to have war against their own,
That's
man.
right.
But yet we come for those brothers, man.
Right.
Not like the Christian church or the purple ones, where they only look for the ones who went to school, went to college, and yet we come for them too. But they only go for them, man. They only go for them who got all the money, so they can fill up their pockets and make them get all the tight clothes they want to wear,
Right.
and molest children. That's what they're doing at damn church, man. But we come to restore our brothers who suffer just like we do, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Considering thyself, lest
Lest
thou also be tempted.
And considering ourselves, lest we also be tempted, man. Because our brothers, listen, in the church, man, they'll look down upon you, they'll do what they want to do. But we just consider ourselves, because yes, this is my brother, he's suffering this. I ain't doing it right now, but listen, I could be tempted of that thing too.
That's right.
I could be tempted. I could be tempted to top man down, and he's my brother. I could be tempted to be. I could be tempted to be like, you know what? I'm not in the spirit of the Lord today, man. And my brother just pissed me off. I looked at me wrong. I'm like, thump him down.
Right.
I could be tempted to that too. But you know what? Nah, man. Because we suffer these things, and because I could be tempted of that also. I'm gonna restore my brother, man. Because his flesh is my flesh, man.
Right.
We come from the same bloodline, man. Read on.
Bear you one another's burdens.
You what?
Bear you one another's burdens.
Nah, man. Take all the wealth of the community and just look after yourself.
Bear you one another's burdens.
Nah, man. Go to church on Sunday, yeah, and be like, you know what? Look, my daughter's in university. My son's a lawyer now, and look at all the wealth I have. And if you pay your tithes, you can get it too. Nah, man. What do?
Bear you one another's burdens.
That's what we do in UPK, man. We bear our brother's burdens, man.
That's right.
His weakness is our weakness, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? His strength is our strength.
That's right.
We're one flesh, man. We're brothers.
Right.
And the only place in the world, man, where our blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can come together in true righteousness and true sincerity is in the UPK, man.
That's right.
Under Command John YAHANNA. Is that it on that? You got any more? What verse was it?
2. Just the last little bit, sir.
Read on to verse 3.
Right. And so fulfill the law of Christ.
And so do what?
Fulfill the law of Christ.
So when in the Christian church, right, and they're doing what they're doing and robbing the people, they're not fulfilling the law of Christ, man, because they ain't feeding their brothers, man. They're not considering the brotherhood, man. They're not considering the life that he has to live, the struggle that he has to go through, man. Nah, they look at their own selves, and we fulfill the law of Christ. Because why? Christ said what? And he referenced Leviticus 19:17, which you read. He referenced that in saying this. He said this. What? What did he say? He said, "Love thy neighbor as thyself." And like you read in the Levitical law, our neighbor is our brother, man.
That's right.
We love our neighbor as we love ourselves.
That's right.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now get me
Did you say 2?
Yeah. Did you read?
One more.
Oh, go on.
For if a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing,
right,
he deceiveth himself.
That's right. So now you know what that means. The same way that I will, let's say for example, right. Let's say I've got a brother right here, right. I didn't come to him in commitness and think to restore him and think, because you know what, I could be tempted of these things too, man. If I didn't think, and I think I'm better than this, man. I'm this and I'm that, and I've got this little bow tie and this little suit, right. and I'm better than these niggas, man. Nah. Don't read that last bit again.
If a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing.
When he is nothing, man. Because why? We ain't nothing, man. Listen, man. We ain't nothing. We our lives are to serve Yahweh, but Hashem Yahushua, walk commands in your honor, man. That's what we're here to do, man.
Right.
We're here to serve. That's our duty. We're due to serve and to do the will of the Father, man. That's what we're created here to do.
Right.
And we ain't nothing. We ain't nothing to the Most High. We're just His vessels, and it's an honor for any man to take up the ranks of UPK and call himself an officer, man.
Right.
That's that is our place you should be, man. But don't think you're something that you're not, man. But don't think you better than your brothers, man. Don't think you're higher mighty, you better than brothers. Right. Nah, man. Our brothers is our blood. That's who we are. Right. Just like aforetime with Moses or Marshall in the Hebrew, right? He was living lavish, man. He was living good. All the money he needs, man. All the wealth he needs, man. He was living good and anything, man. He didn't want for nothing. Right. But yet he saw his brothers. He saw his Akim and Akwafian brothers and sisters. He saw them in the fields working like animals, man. And he was like, nah, man. Right. I can't do it, man. I couldn't do it, man. Not my brothers, man. Nah, man. Even all the I was good, but my brothers suffering, so I got. Well. That's right. That's right, man. You know what I mean? That's it on that, right? Come on. Yeah. So now, just get me James, chapter 5, verse 19. You know what I mean? We have to understand the people, man. Coming back to our laws and restoring the brotherhood, man. Restoring the brotherhood that was once our way. You know what I mean? Restoring the culture and the heritage of our forefathers, man. You know what I mean? Restoring that brotherhood, that is what we must do as a people, man. We got to restore the brotherhood, man. Read that now. James 5, verse 19. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth. So meaning to error or to stray or to go in a fault, right? From the truth, which is the laws of our forefathers, right? And being in this truth, in this walk, man, in the UPK, read. And one convert him from the truth. Right. And one convert him. So one brother now, he's straying, he's erring, man. He's in error. That's what that means, right? Or error, right? It's just sin. One of my brothers, he's full short, man. He's going through it, man. You know what I mean? He's not doing as he was commanded to do. You understand? He's suffering these things right now. He's going through it. He's in error right now, right? Right. One of the brothers who's spiritual, like I read earlier. One of the brothers who's spiritual, he went to that brother and he converted him, man. He was like, you know what, brother, you're going wrong here. You're doing this wrong. Right? You're doing this, and he corrected the brother and he converted him. And he changed him. Read. Right. Let him know that he which converted the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death. That's right, man. And so he's going to save a soul from death, man. You understand? That's what he's doing, man. He's saving a soul from death. When you change your brother, you correct your brother, you rebuke your brother, man. And he's in error right now. He's doing this. He's doing something wrong. And you tell him how it is, and you try to come with him. You try to come with some meekness and try to help him out. Know this. That in doing that, when we go on them street corners, man, we blaze on our people, man. That's right. We are doing what? Okay. Shall save his soul from death. We're saving their souls from death, man. That's the true brotherhood that we're supposed to have. Saving our brother's souls from death, man. Right. You know what I mean? Stop conforming to the world that we live in, conforming to this unclean society that you know was built to oppress and only take and never give to us, man. Right. And anything that's given to us is only in dishonor, man. You understand? Only in dishonor. When they see our celebrities out there, you know, making all this wealth, you understand that the vast majority of them, they gave up their manhood, man. They gave up their integrity. You know something? Okay, if I may. So, when we look back at the Willie Lynch letter, right, which was designed old man against old young boy, black against light skin. That's right. All of those things sometimes we can still see in our society now. And like it said in there, it's like 1,000 years profit for the slave master. That's right. So we still are suffering today from the Willie Lynch syndrome. That's right, man. Damn right. I should give him a hand. I'll give him a hand. Keep a hand. Super Akiyan Karab, man. That's some heavy point right you bring up. Like the Willie Lynch, man. That is exactly what we live every day, man. Right. You know what I mean? That having that hatred for a brother that's dark skin or light skin, like what? Nigga, he's suffering like you. What are you talking about? Or hating or having or worse and more is that having our sisters being having more power in our relationships than us.
Right.
Having our sisters stand above us,
Right.
being masculine
Right.
and not taking orders from their husband.
Right.
That is a part of Willie Lynch. That is what was taught to be forced upon us in slavery. That's documented. Right. The Willie Lynch letters.
Right.
Understand? That's forced upon us. So when you Pan Africans talk about bowing down to women and shit, nah, bro, that was forced upon us in slavery, bro.
Right.
That was a part of our destruction. You understand? That was a part of our destruction, man. You're talking about bowing down to women. Nah, blood, you soft, man. You soft.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You soft out here, man. You talking about bowing down to women. Nah, man. That's what made us emasculated us and made us weak, so that our communities can be the way they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why our young men are so violent to each other, because they're raised by emotional women.
That's right.
They're not raised by strong men that know how to conduct themselves and move about in life. Nah, they're raised by women.
Right.
And you have to understand, there's a place for our women. Our women are princesses. You know what I'm saying? In their greatness. That's who they are, man. That's who they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be princesses.
That's right.
But we are the priests and prophets and kings that's supposed to rule over those women and those children, man. And things have been turned upside down so that they can control us. So when you talk about wearing that damn ankh on your neck and talk about bowing to women, you're just a simple slave, man.
That's right.
You know, no different from the Christian in the church, man.
Right.
So like, if we don't,
Karawaka, let him know that he which converted the sinner from the error of his way shall save his soul from death.
That's right, Bree.
And shall hide a multitude of sins.
That's right, a multitude of sins, man. Because why? He would have done that, and that would have led to this, and that would have led to that,
right?
And then and then also, in him doing what he's doing, he's teaching younger brothers to do the same thing.
Right.
So he's committing the sin of suffering sin upon his brothers, and it just go on from there. You understand? And that's why we need to learn that we, as a people, are better than that, man. We are the priests and prophets of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Us in the UPK are the ones who have been set up, man, to serve and to deal correctly. We're supposed to be the judges on this earth, man. Right. We're the correct judges of the Lord on this earth, man. Right. Nobody else. We're the ones who are supposed to rule this planet Earth, man, in its entirety, man. Not no African, no Chinese, no Japanese. Right. None of that, man. Us, the so-called blacks, the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, right? You blacks of the Caribbean and over there in the Americas and the UK, right? You natives to North, Central, and South America, right? You know what I mean? Native Americans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, Colombians, Ecuadorians, Guatemalans. Those are God's chosen people, man.
That's right.
Those are the only people worthy of any type of retribution on this earth, man.
Right.
And yes, we do deserve reparations. So don't get twisted. My brothers out there that was out there in Birmingham, and so like not in Brixton, yeah. I'm not. Listen, we ain't looking down because we understand the cause. We understand the plight. We understand the plight of our people, but we understand there's a way to actually achieve the real goal.
That's right.
And the real goal is having our enemies bowing down to our feet, man.
Right.
That's the real way, and restoring the brotherhood among brothers. You're not going to go and march one day, and then next minute you're going to come around and talk about smoking weed. You got something?
Yeah, I was just going to say. I was just going to say. I mean, the scripture say that we should love each other as Christ has loved us.
Right.
And that's why, like, we're here today.
That's right.
We're on the road.
Right.
Because we got a problem. Our people have got a problem with each other. Everybody else are cool. I look at the Salakis, if I may.
No,
I look at the Edomites. I look at the Indian, the East Indians, and they're all together.
That's right.
And they all love each other. You can't trouble one of them and the other one don't jump in.
That's right. That's a heavy point. That's a heavy point because, look, the truth of bringing out is heavy because what he's saying is this: our enemies, man, even in their own conflict, and this is one thing that everyone in the UK can understand is that they'll have bar fights, right? You've got a typical, the typical British hooligan, man. They fight in the bar, they get glass everywhere, cut up their face, mash up, bro, mash up. Mash up. When two big men are fighting, right? And they mash up the whole place, bro. There's a little glass everywhere. People tiptoe over tables, tiptoe over, right? But after that, what they do in their weak and simplistic way, they be like, you know what, I love you, man. I love you. That's what they do. They're like, you know what, Harry, you messed me up, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's right. Their best friend, they all hug and kissing and shit, and they're all like, oh, Harry, I'm sorry. They got blood coming out his eye, mash up everything. He's like, they love each other. I love you, Harry. Like, nah, blood. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we ain't like that, but understand there's something that we've learned that they still love each other. Right. That white man, that white man in the pub, yeah. That white man in the pub, he understands that he loves. He just has a big old brawl with his brother, but he still understands that he loves his brother that he had to just thump over more than he loved those niggas. That's right. More than he loved those wogs. That's right. Or those wetbacks. That's right. Or those black people. Look at those black people coming over here. Look at them all talking about bomber clock this and that, bomber clock that. Right. These yardies and talking in their patois. You don't like that. You know what I mean? He talking about, listen, I prefer listen. Listen, I'll fight Harry, but Harry, listen, Harry's mine. You know what I mean? Harry's my brother. That's right. You know what I mean? But he knows that you rather stick with Harry than stick with you. Right. But we don't know that though. We don't know that. You see what I'm saying? We don't know that though. He can understand that. Even in his unclean, abominable state that he's in, he can understand that he loves his own rather than us. And that's what we need to do as people. We need to come back to that love and that level of brotherhood that we can understand that, yo, you know what? These are my brothers, man. Right. But what you got? You got more than that? So okay. God, and shall hide the multitude of sins. I think that's it. That's it. Yeah. That verse 20, right? Yes. Yeah. All right. So now get me John 15 and 12. Yeah. Yeah, man, for real, like these Edomites can be. Listen, I don't know in America. I don't know if you get that over there in America. You know what I'm saying, but over here, you get man. They're fighting the pub like, yo, listen, I'm a. I don't know. But go on. Our people, you do that to them, and trust me, they're going back to get a bora. That's right. They're going back to get the strap, they're licking at your marrow. That's right. And they're going to kill you. Straight. Right? There's no forgiveness in the heart. Burn him skin. They'll burn him. That's right. And they'll do it quick too. Yeah. It won't be like overtime and it just got. But no, it'll be like quick because of the self-hatred that we've been taught in this captivity, man. And they have not been taught from a young age. They have not been taught to hate their people, man. That's right. But they have been taught to hate us, though. Right. They have been taught to hate our brothers, the natives, man, the Hispanics, the Colombians, and the Ecuadorians. They've been taught to hate them. Right. Over there in London, man, listen, they call them all kinds of names, man. It's like I'm gonna say something real quick, like really, you know what I mean? I work in security, right? And they'll be talking about obviously when the blacks are there, when the Benjamites are there, they ain't gonna say nothing about us. But of course, we know behind our backs they've got something to say. But when our brothers, the Asherites, right, the Colombians, Ecuadorians, they come into the shop, right, they are quick to call them thieves. Yet and still they have not done nothing. They just stepped into the Hey, Shalom, so lucky about that. There's a couple of technical difficulties. Am I back here? Put a one if you can see and hear me correctly. Just put a one real quick if you can see and hear me. All right, Most High Christ. All right, forward. All right, so read that now. John 15.
John 15, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
This is my commandment,
Right.
that you love one another.
Do what?
Love one another.
So now we read before, this is the commandment of the YAHANNA or Jesus Christ in the English.
That's right.
He said our commandment is that we love one another, just like you've been reading, man. That's
Right.
like, brother, we love our brothers, man.
That's right.
And I can't remember that precept, but we prefer one another. You know what I'm saying? We prefer one another, man. Read.
As I have loved you.
Read.
Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life.
That's right.
For his friend.
No greater love than that, man. That a man lay down his life. And that's one West right there, man. You know why it's one West? Because in the Bible.
That's
why it's one West. That's one West that we will lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters in the UPK, man. Straight up and down.
Right.
No seconds. No. You see how our brothers and sisters in the world are so quick to kill one another and make war with one another. That's how quick we are to die for our brothers.
That's
man.
right.
That's right, man. There's no greater love. And that's the only love and the brotherhood and sisterhood that you find in the UPK, man.
That's right.
You ain't gonna find that nowhere else, man. We be straight up and down.
So like it.
Go ahead.
We be fighting to take the bullet.
That's right. You know, so listen, man.
We
fighting to take the bullet, man.
Right.
We're not fighting to kill each other. No, man. I take it. I take it. You know what I mean? That's how we'll be. That's the love that in the brotherhood that we find in the UPK.
Right.
We will fight for the right to die for one another, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Khan. You are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you.
So YAHANNA Christ said, ye are my friends. What do you say? Ye are my friends what?
If.
What?
If.
Christ said, if. What does that mean? What does that mean? Love is conditional, like that General brought out, man. Love is very conditional in the Bible, man. Not like in the Christian church about unconditional love. So that means what? That means that now you rape my daughter. So now unconditional love, yeah? So you're gonna love that man, he just raped your daughter. It's unconditional love, yeah? He just killed your mum and slaughtered your whole family. Unconditional love, yeah? Nah. The Bible says, if you do what?
If you do whatsoever I command you.
If you do whatsoever that was commanded of us, man. That's what the love is. And that's why in the UPK there's so much love, because we all are one accord and we all do as we are commanded to do, man.
Right.
We all say Khan and a one Khan. That's why. You got something. Go ahead.
Khan. See, when you say that, you are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you, and then you just put that example there of if somebody raped your daughter or somebody killed and you're supposed to forgive them like that, and you know, that's slavery. That turned you into a coup.
That's right.
That will turn you into a real homeborn slave.
That's right. That's not most. No, most are correct. That's right. That's exactly right, and that's what is happening in our communities. We've been so dumbed down and so weakened by this place, man, that we would allow our daughters, our sisters, to be whores and be defiled by these other nations, man. And we'll think nothing of it. We'll allow our brothers to be dealt with and given drugs in our communities, and we'll think nothing of it, man. But when it's our own family, our own brothers, you wanna hurt them? Nah, go ahead.
Do you remember the guy who went to court and his brother got shot by the police officer? And he went and hugged the woman in the court.
Yes, that's in America, right?
Listen,
man, that's slavery right there. That's Willie Lynch right there.
Right
man.
there.
You love your oppressors and you hate your own man. Your own brother was killed by the police unjustly, right? And you hug the devil that going to do that, man. Listen, man, the white man is the devil.
That's right.
Speaks of, man. Listen, only a devil can make you so simplistic in your mind that Yeah, so lucky about that. If you can see and hear me, just put a 1. So lucky about that again. The connection just kind of pissing about. But like I was saying, though, the white man is the damn devil, man. Because not only did he kill my brother, but yet he has confused me and dumbed me down so badly that I would still, in fact, I would hug the man who just killed my brother, man. And that is slavery, man. That's the slavery and the brainwashing that we've been forced to go for. Hey, most of it, 4 of it. You know what I mean? That's the slavery that we've been forced to succumb to, man. That he would make me so simplistic and confuse me and brainwash me so much that he could kill my brother and then I go and hug him.
Right.
It's a simple slave, man. Read what you got.
Khan.
15. John 15 and verse 13.
Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
That's right, man. There's no other greater love, man. No greater love than a sister. You know what I'm saying? Laying down her life for her sister, man.
That's right.
No, brother lay down his life for his sisters and brothers, man.
That's right.
And we fight for that, man. We will fight for that honor, to die with that level of honor, man.
That's right.
And only that integrity, you're gonna find that in the media, in the celebrity world, man.
Right.
You're not gonna find that level of integrity there. They're gonna set up because why? They want their money, man.
That's
you understand? Right. They fear the oppressor, and they love money rather than integrity and honor, man. And that integrity and honor is what we find in UPK, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Khan, you are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you.
That's right.
Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servants knoweth not what the Lord or his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you.
So all things have been made known to us because why? Christ, how much that was an example, man. He showed us in the flesh. Understand? Our King, he showed us in the flesh of the way we're supposed to be, man. Of the way we as a people understand. But let me get me 1 Kings 8 real quick, because now in this whole class we've covered restoring brothers, you know what I mean? If they're low in a certain state, and sisters, of course, it covers that too. You know what I mean? Covering brothers and sisters. If you see your sister in a low state, man, you restore them, man. You which are spiritual. You know what I'm saying? You restore that brother or sister, man. And then also being that you don't help them like a Christian pastor. You don't help them for yourself, man, to make yourself look good. Nah, man. You help them because it is commanded you to love your brothers.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what, read that. You got that. 1 Kings 8 and 46.
Khan, if they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not.
So our forefathers, we sinned against the Lord, man. We forsook the ways of our forefathers, like we read before, man. We forsook the ways of our forefathers, and the Lord is saying, if we sin against thee, which we did, read.
Khan, and thou be angry with them,
read,
and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near.
Far or near, you understand? The land of our enemies is where we've been scattered to, man. You understand? Far or near, over here in the UK, over there in the Americas, we were scattered there, man.
Right.
Because we forsook the law of our forefathers. Read.
Khan, yet if they shall bethink themselves.
Yet if we shall do what?
Bethink themselves.
That's what we're doing here, man. We're bethinking ourselves because why? We're coming back to our laws and the brotherhood and sisterhood that we should be teaching and should be spreading towards our young sons and daughters.
That's right.
And our brothers, man, in the world, man.
That's right.
That's the brotherhood that we find in the UPK, really.
Right.
Oh, no, but you had the point?
I was just going to say, I mean, like you said earlier, I mean, if we can't sort out it between ourselves,
right,
and do what the scriptures are telling us, how are we going to show the next generation, the children?
Right.
And they're the ones that's coming up and looking at us as examples.
That's right.
And if we're not following the example, the laws of Christ, or we're not being at the gate, so to speak, if you know what I mean by the gate. Yeah. Where's our future?
That's right. That's right.
Where's the kids gonna go?
And that's a heavy point because that's exactly what happens in our community.
That's right.
That's exactly what happens. You got the youth looking at the elders like,
right,
how are you looking at? How are you saying younger generation, but yet you're sitting up there smoking weed?
right.
You know what I mean? That's what happens in our community.
Right.
It's backwards.
That's
It's
right.
it's out of order. It's out of whack because why we, you understand, we have lost our way, read.
Right, come on. Yet if they bethink themselves in the land whether they were carried captive.
You know, when we started to bethink ourselves during the time of, I'm gonna just put brief moments. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean, when we started to be, when brothers and sisters like, you know, Nat Turner come up out of the dust, man, and started looking at the scriptures and looking at how out their ways and looking at how, you know, I mean, something ain't right. And they looked at the scriptures and looked at the scriptures were saying. People like what's that sister's name, man?
Harriet Tubman.
That's right, Harriet Tubman. That's right, Harriet Tubman. How she called her descendants today know their Hebrews, man. Know who they are. They know where they come from. That's when we started. And in 1969, in the I.S.U.P.K, that's when we was established fully.
Right.
And that's when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans started to bethink themselves, man.
Right.
Started to really bethink themselves and really know who they were, man. In the land, we will carry captive. That's why over here in the UK, in London right now, we are teaching this class about brotherhood, teaching the laws that we have forsaken as a people. But read.
And repent.
And do what?
And repent.
We must repent, man. We must come back to our heritage and the ways of our forefathers. What we read about in the book called the Bible, man. In this book called the Bible is where we understand and learn that we are the most precious thing on this earth.
Right.
But we have been brought so low, man.
Right.
And we must do what, read?
And repent.
Read.
And make supplications unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives.
So in the land of all these people that hate us and oppress us, man, in the land where the true sons of God, the true priests and prophets of the Lord were scattered, you know what I'm saying? The true Israelites, man. Not these Khazarian devils, man.
That's right.
Not these dogs, man. And big up to Wiley. I mean, listen, man. Wiley, listen, man. You need to get in all black. If you're hearing this, man, get in all black, man.
That's right.
My brother Wiley, listen. He didn't fall like Nick Cannon. Listen. Now, in the media world, we find that media world, can you say that? In the celebrity world, we find that a lot of them are folding, just like Nick Cannon and many other brothers, right? But this brother Wiley over here in London, listen, man, he's got some level of integrity to actually understand that what he's saying is correct.
That's right. And
he's not gonna fold just because of money, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's something that's an attribute of One West. Listen, he's not all the way One West.
Right.
But I'm gonna say that now, if you get in all black, you fully learn that what you're saying is correct, and you'll be able to back it up with the facts as well, man. And yeah, read on.
And repent and make supplications unto thee in the land of
them.
Yeah, the land of them that carried them captive, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely.
We've done perversely, man. Loving the religions and the ways and the other gods of our oppressors is perverse, man. It's so unclean. You know what I mean? Being in Black Lives Matter, saying that Black Lives Matter, but yet push a homosexual agenda, that is unclean and perverse, man. Because how are you promoting life if you ain't even listen, man? How are you talking about Black Lives Matter, but yet your lifestyle that you promote does not promote life? You're not trying to, you know, have the sons of, you know what I'm saying, the sons of God, man. You ain't trying to have bear your brothers. You know what I'm saying? You a sister in the BLM. You ain't trying to, you know, stand for your people, man, and build a family. You ain't trying to do that, man. As you turn to be perverse and read.
We have committed wickedness.
Read.
And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captives, and pray unto thee toward their land. Which
is where our land is in Jerusalem, man. You know what I mean? That's our homeland, man. Jerusalem is our homeland. That's where we're supposed to. That's our. You understand? That's what we're supposed to turn to in our prayers, man. You know what I'm saying? And with that, we're gonna clap it up now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the brotherhood class. You know what I'm saying? We'll start with the announcements now. Shalom, this is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command and General YAHANNA. Rule for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and the sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and the sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase that the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have, so like we got September. We got the feast of trumpets. That's right, trumpets. You know what I'm saying? September 17th. We got trumpets, and after that, 20 September, the same month, 20. Let me see. That's atonement, right? You got it right.
Yeah, Day of Atonement, September 26th.
Right, September 26th is the Day of Atonement, where we're supposed to atone for our sins, man. But that's another class. So we got the September 17th, which is the fruits. So looking on trumpets.
Trumpet feast.
Right.
Trumpets.
That's right, trumpets, and then we have the atonement on the 26th. Right. Announce the holy convocations. Remind Akim and Akwof to check the bulletin board in the hallway. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, and headbands. And with that, admarjam, which means to stand. And we will do the other one palau, which is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Okay. Which is the other one palau, which is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. And with that, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwavka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawo, Hayah, Bashemayah, the Thundernawa, the Kam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalakinawa, Kawabafanawa, Kasalakinawa, Kawabafanawa, Wala'a, Fabaya Ainawa, Bonsai 1. Okay. Bonsai 1. Abal, Hawashinawa, Mayan, right. Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahala Para, La'a Walamian, Amen. And in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. And with that, right. So that's how the courtesy salute. So Amadam Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabrakatah, Yazamatat, which means hands down. Class dismissed.
One, Shala.
Also,